it's Laura, and as you can see, I am back with another cool video which is very different and out of my comfort zone, but it was so fun filming it. So I was at the zoo the other day and I decided it would be really fun to film me sketching out some animals, and the idea was pretty great, but I wasn't thinking about the angles and about how I'm going to draw all that. I didn't even bring an eraser. I just basically brought a pen and my camera and my sketchbook, and I was doing it. I have to admit it was very awkward because people were watching and they were curious about what I'm doing and how it's all looking. There were some people that actually talked about me drawing, and I realized because it was a foreign language, but some of the words sounded familiar and they were like, oh, this girl is drawing. And I actually felt pretty cool because I felt like an artist. I felt like people actually see that I'm doing art, and that felt quite special, I have to admit. But as I said, I was very awkward and I was smiling all the time with my awkwardness. So I came out of my comfort zone, which was a great idea, but at the same time I knew I had to bury and put up with some pretty awkward situations. Anyways, yeah, the animal that I draw first was this beautiful camel, and he or she was just sitting out like that eating, and I somehow found it beautiful, and there was this beautiful fence that was close, and that's why I decided it would be amazing to try it out with this animal. And it's actually not that much about how it turned out, because it didn't turn out the greatest. The sketches are not the best replica. I'm not the greatest artist, but I guess this was all about the experience, how fun it was, how awkward it was, but that actually made it so much better. This was something new for me. This was something that I never done, and also it was really cool to have this real life object as something to draw, because I usually draw animals and stuff like that from photos on the internet, but having this real life figure to draw, and the camel or generally animals not being very still, that was really much of a challenge. Even though the other animals weren't still, I would say that this meerkat was very still, and I would say that he was much of a poser, because honestly meerkats are always like that. They seem very friendly and they seem like they are kings of the show, and they sometimes seem like they want to be photographed and stuff. So this meerkat was really cool, just sitting there observing me and observing everything. And it was very fun to draw him, even though I didn't draw it that much realistically as he was there. But it doesn't matter, because as I said, it was all about the experience and not about the final sketch. So maybe if you aren't exactly sure about the way you draw, or you're not that much satisfied with your work, maybe try, as I said, to go out of your comfort zone, try something new and practice, and don't focus much about the finished look, but about whether you like doing it, because if you like doing it, eventually it will turn out the way you want it if you practice and if you keep believing in yourself all the way through. Once I relaxed myself and once I started thinking how fun it is instead of how embarrassing and awkward this is, I started to sketch better, and I started to really think that it's cool, that it's working out, that I'm great. And that is the thing about trying something new. You have to relax, you have to believe in it in order to make it fun, because otherwise it's just a stupid, scary experience, and believe me, you don't want that to be in your memories. What seemed to be a big obstacle was the fact that I was standing all the time, and I feel more comfortable when I am just sitting when I'm drawing. But this was the type of situation that actually required me to stand. So that's how I filmed this, and that's why I'm a bit shaky and I was sweating and all of that stuff. You can see here that I was trying to sketch out beautiful Chinese leopard, which is actually with red panda, my favorite animal in the zoo. They're very endangered in the world, so that's why I think that zoo is pretty much a good place for them. And I mean, where else would I be able to see this beautiful animal and be able to appreciate it, but at the same time be able to question myself a bit about all of those serious stuff about animals and their endangerment and how people use them for their own personal selfish needs, for example, for clothes and for selling. And that is making me so sad when I think about it. So I want to believe that this leopard is actually having a better time here than being hunted. I just feel like in this type of video I had to say it so that you people don't hate me and that you understand my point of view and where I am at. Let's bring back to the sketch. It is not the best one, but it is the best one that I could have done here. And I don't know, I'm going to show you all of those sketches later when I finish this video. Another animal that I chose to sketch out was this beautiful crocodile, and he was so small but very scary because of his teeth that were very sharp. And honestly, the place that he was at wasn't really crowded, so that was a very good opportunity for me to relax even a little bit. He was also quite of a poser and he wasn't moving that much. I mean, it's very natural that he wasn't. He was still, but I think that he was observing and he was probably thinking, what is this girl doing? But yeah, I think that even though I didn't draw it the best, again, I had so much fun. And it was really cool to be able to really observe this animal, really observe all of his colors and the way his general form is, and then sketch it out. And I'm giving you a closer look here of how I sketched out everything and how I'm sketching this crocodile. And I also have to admit that now that I'm seeing this leopard that I drew, I kind of feel like it looks more like a cheetah, but nevertheless it doesn't look that bad. I mean, you can recognize that it's some type of big cat, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't exactly nail those sketches, but at least I embarrassed myself a little bit for this beautiful YouTube community that is watching my videos. You can see this beautiful creature from closer look now, and you can see that he's so stunning, and he was kind of raising up his head a little bit. I don't know what that action was exactly, but I was kind of scared, like whether he will open up his teeth or whether he will do something in the water that will scare me. And almost last but not least, I tried to sketch out this beautiful gazelle. And again, since a lot of people wanted to see the gazelle, they were also seeing me sketching out. And I don't know how to feel about this. I prefer embarrassing myself with my drawings in front of just myself, and when people were able to see the way I'm doing it, I somehow wanted to ask them, like, do you like it, how can I improve and stuff like that, because I always question myself how other people see my art and not just how I see it. There were seriously a lot of questions in my head, and all I can say to you is that I wasn't relaxed. I was really anxious about how everything is turning out, and now that I'm seeing it, for the first time as a first tryout, it was pretty cool, and I wanted to really post it and edit it. And I hope you like this type of video, which I'm saying it's a bit different from me, but it's a cool experience, and I hope you like something different on this channel. And for the last sketch, here is a very personal kind of video clip of me just sitting finally and sketching out a stork. And it was so funny that I had to look up stork in English because I forgot how it's called. But yeah, I see storks in my village all the time, and honestly, I prefer seeing them in nature where they actually build their nests very high above the ground. Overall, my thoughts about this experience are that even though you might feel like something is an obstacle, it might not be always, and you have to work with that, with the obstacle that there might be in your head, if you want to bring out something beautiful, unique, and different. Because I kind of feel like this video is really standing out than my other videos that are very close to what others are doing. So this video is basically showing out my personal kind of artistic style and approach. So I think that this was a very, very good idea that I drew this, and I will try to do more videos like that if you want it. And it was such a personal and amazing experience what I did here. And here is a final look of how all the sketches turned out. Always remind yourself to go out of your comfort zone because it can be very fun there. Bye!